What is up, everybody? This is Rob, and this is going to be an informational video about a product I do think every car or truck should have on it if it can, because it does help with a bit of crime that unfortunately does target a lot of vehicles nowadays, and that is catalytic converter theft. As we all know, our vehicles do have catalytic converters on them. Some states it's required, some states it's not required legally to get that checked out every year, but pretty much every car that is sold does have a catalytic converter on it. Unfortunately, these are often targeted by thieves. The catalytic converters do have components in them that are worth a decent amount of cash, and it's generally considered a pretty easy thing to sell. What will usually happen is your car will be parked out front, and a thief will come. They'll go underneath the car. Usually, it'll just cut off the catalytic converter. They won't take off your whole system. Just cut those off at the pipes, and then they'll just go ahead and just leave. Usually, they're in and out very fast. Then usually what will happen is you'll wake up the next day in your car to go to work, wonder why is it so much louder and why does it smell so bad, and then that's when you realize, unfortunately, you were targeted for catalytic converter theft. The process after that can sometimes be a little bit annoying. If it's new enough, then insurance might cover it, but it's still a bit of a process. Especially if they did, end up screwing up something else down there. Sometimes when they're cutting down there with the saw, they're not trying to be careful. All they want is the catalytic converter. They might cut some other wires, they might mess up the piping more where you are going to have to put even more money to fix it, which does suck, especially if you don't have insurance on it. And that's a pretty common thing, as at least in my area, I'm noticing it's the older cars and trucks that are getting hit more. And it just sucks because that means that they probably aren't covered under insurance and it's just all out of the owner's pocket. There are various options people do to help prevent catalytic converter theft. Some of them are a bit DIY. One, for example, has been encouraging people to paint their catalytic converters in like a high temp orange color or just any sort of high temp color. The belief is supposed to be that then the thieves won't want it because it might attract too much attention. Some people believe that with it being colored, some of these corrupt shops that do buy the catalytic converters off the thieves, they're not going to want it anymore. I don't know exactly how true it is, but that's just one thing people do. Some people like to do a thing where they'll basically etch their VIN into a catalytic converter. And I think this is only working in places where a thief can't legally just sell the catalytic converter anywhere. And it's a place where the shops have to legally make sure that the catalytic converter is tied to the vehicle, that it came from. So the validity in this, it's not 100%, but apparently it is supposed to help. I do know that some police departments do actually do a free, catalytic converter, VIN etching service every now and then. I do think that's a pretty cool way to help try to deter it. If you're a car person and you're able to, if you live in one of the states where you can, you might just take out the catalytic converter altogether because you can't steal what isn't even there. And that is 100% fair game as well. However, I want to talk about what is my favorite way, and that is by putting an actual catalytic converter shield on your vehicle. So essentially, it'll be a piece of aluminum or steel that will cover the catalytic converter. The idea is that thief looks underneath the vehicle, they see what looks to be a big headache. Maybe it's because it's just a lot more to cut. It might take up someone's surface area that they didn't want to deal with it, and that I know it is unfortunate to say, but they'll say, screw it, I'll go on to the next one. Unfortunately, guys, when it comes to this kind of theft, it's kind of like when I had a motorcycle. It's not about making it that you really thwart the robber, but that they decide this isn't worth my time and then they go look for an easier mark. It's unfortunate, that's just how it is. So when it does come to catalytic converter shields, I do recommend one brand in particular because their product is solid, and that is MillerCat, you guys. So MillerCat do sell a variety of cat shields for a variety of cars. They have them in different materials and thickness. They have aluminum and steel, and again, varying ranges of thickness, depending on just how much protection you want. Now, personally, I actually have the thinner aluminum shield on my Tacoma because I figured out for me it's more of a visual thing. However, if you do want the nice thick steel stuff, go ahead and check that out also. Because then, if the thief does decide, screw it, I'm going to try it anyways, they're going to be having to cut through all that steel with their little handsaw. And that may also be enough to make them say, forget it, and leave. It's also worth mentioning that some people have said, well, why can't somebody just, screw off the cat shield? First off, a robber doesn't want to spend the time unscrewing the shield off. That's a pain in the butt. Second off, MillerCat, and this is cool because other places charge you extra, other Cat Shield vendors, they will include with your Cat Shield security screws. So there are screws that use a specific bit, not just a basic Phillips head kind of thing. I think that's pretty awesome of them because it does give you one more level of security for your catalytic converter. So now you want the Cat Shield. Now you have to install it. Installation super easy, guys. All right. You don't have to drill any new holes. The holes are already there in your, car or truck that your MillerCat Shield is designated for. They also do have different, varieties depending on, for example, your Tacoma is a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, V6 or four-cylinder. So they do have you guys covered. But back to the installation, really easy. First things first, you just have to assemble the actual shield. Just put the little side wings. I do really like the side wings also because, they help that a robber can't get in from the side. And then you use the security screws I mentioned, and then you just have to actually go ahead and install it underneath your vehicle. Now, I'm not a very big person, so I was actually able to install the Cat Shield underneath my Tacoma without even having to jack it up. You might not have to also, so make sure to check that out as well. Part of the reason I really like the MillerCat Cat Shield over the competitor is that if you look at the picture, it's just a big surface. It's not, I know that there's some competitors where they sell just these little shields that just cover exactly the catalytic converters. But MillerCat, it's a shield that covers the whole thing. That is nice because, again, it makes it harder for a robber to move freely underneath your vehicle. And it just makes it look more physically intimidating. It's no noises out of it. It doesn't make any rattling noises, anything like that either. Overall, it's just a great product, easy to install. I do recommend using some Loctite, if you really want to be sure that it doesn't come off. However, I've had my Cat Shield on my Tacoma already for over a year and a half and nothing. I didn't put any Loctite and it's not coming off at all, guys. Now, another question I often get involving the MillerCat Catalytic Converter Shield is, can I still change my oil with it on? The answer is yes, guys. So the oil change is actually done a little bit forward from the Cat Shield, so you don't have to worry about that, guys. Actually, I guess if you have a Pro model, for example, think about where the TRD Pro skid plate is on the Tacoma. That's more the oil change area, so you're good. I told you guys all about the Cat Shield. Maybe you want it now. If you want it, how do you get it? You're going to go on MillerCat's website and you're going to go ahead and add whichever one you want to the cart. Remember, guys, different options, aluminum, steel. The thickness also does vary depending on your vehicle. Now, after you have this in the cart, I do have a coupon code for you guys, right? Rob's Autos, all right? Use the coupon code Rob's Autos for a discount on MillerCat's website. Really good code, you guys. Make sure to use that. Now, I do also want to mention, in terms of why I chose MillerCat Cat Shield, well, let's take a small step back. When I bought the MillerCat Cat Shield for my Tacoma, I did a lot of research. I don't put junk products on my vehicles. I am a strong believer in buy once, cry once. All right? You buy the good one, and that way it will last and it will give you exactly what you need. So when you go ahead and you buy that MillerCat Cat Shield, just know that you're buying something that I believe is a really good product, especially compared to competitors. And again, it got you that discount code to help, make it a bit easier purchase. With that, remember guys, right? MillerCat.com. Use the coupon code Rob's Autos. MillerCat Cat Shield looks good, installs really easy. Give your catalytic converter the protection it needs to ensure that thieves aren't able to get to it. Nobody wants that headache, guys. It is a pain when that happens to you, believe me. So make sure to check that out, guys. If you guys have any questions about the install, anything at all, please go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know. I have a few install videos also. I have a Tacoma one and a 4Runner one. Go ahead and check those out. And as usual, guys, let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. So with that, guys, this is Rob, and have a good one.